Hello again, everybody. Or if you're a first-time viewer, I am Koopa Troopa. You are watching Koopa Fantasy, and I'm going to break down the first fantasy draft I've done so far this year. I plan on doing 3 drafts this year. I wanted to wait until closer to the season to finally draft the teams, just to torture myself having to look at them. But because I wanted to write this article, I figured I'll go draft a team, and I wanted it to actually count, so I wanted it to be a team I'm actually going to be using this year. So, hope you guys enjoy my breakdown and analysis of my first fantasy draft of the season. It was on NFL.com, standard scoring, standard positions, 12 teams. So we got QB, two wide receiver, two running back, tight end, flex, kicker, defense, 6 bench players. I got the second pick, which I didn't expect. I never get anything. I always get like the back half of the draft, which I don't actually mind. The first guy took Arian Foster. Kind of shocked me. I figured he'd be smart, take AP or something like that. So I figured, here I go. I get to take AP, who I would have taken #1 anyways. But instead, I end up taking a chance and being a risk taker and taking Jamal Charles because it was season so far away. I figured, why not? The kid could end up being dynamite this year. So I drafted Jamal Charles, second overall pick. You can chirp at me if you like. I welcome it. I'm always up for debate. I had to wait a long time, obviously, to 23rd pick overall. I ended up going with Hakeem Nicks. I wanted to draft a pair of sick wide receivers. I love being wide receiver heavy. It's a passing league these days. There's no more years with guys getting 20 rushing TDs, it doesn't seem. So I went Hakeem Nicks, 23rd overall. It was between him or Roddy White. I just went same kind of thing as Jamal Charles. I went with the guy to me who has the higher ceiling. He has more potential to explode this year than Roddy White. Everyone knows how sick Roddy White is. Everyone knows how sick Hakeem Nicks can be, but we're still waiting to see. Then I went with Reggie Wayne 3 picks later. White just got stolen about like the pick or two after. I would have loved to have both like Nicks and White. But I got Nicks and Reggie Wayne. The guy had over 100 catches last year. Peyton Manning. There's talks of him being hurt, but he'll be playing 16 games probably this year. He'll probably even make playoffs. Colts. Um, Larry Fitzgerald was available actually at the time, but until they get a new QB, I'm not drafting Larry Fitzgerald. That's why my other 2 leagues I'll probably wait till later in the year. And if he gets Kevin Kolb or something, then I might have taken Larry Fitzgerald in that position. And then long wait once again. I went with a tight end and Dallas Clark. I just watched Gates get taken a couple picks earlier. I watched Jason Witten go, who I kind of wanted. So I figured if I want a top tier tight end who might as well be a wide receiver, I might as well grab one now. So I went with Dallas Clark, coming off an injury, but I don't think that matters for him too much. He's a veteran. He's coming back to Peyton Manning. There's not gonna be much time lost between those two, I don't think. And then a couple picks later, I decided I better get my other running back unless I want to end up with like a waiver wire kind of guy. So I went with Daniel Thomas. As you can tell, I'm a Miami Dolphins fan. So I took the rookie, hoping that they don't pick up anybody too amazing. Like if they pick up Ahmad Bradshaw, I'll be pissed. But hopefully they end up just getting like Reggie Bush, which I've heard, someone who's like a third down back, and this hopefully Daniel Thomas is getting 20 touches a game for me as my second running back. Next up, I got Eli Manning as my QB. Like the guy was a top 10 quarterback last year. I guarantee he'll be a top 10 quarterback this year. The guy is a sleeper. I'm going to be grabbing Eli Manning probably in another league if he falls to me. And then I have Nicks and I have Manning, and I think I kind of gapped out when I took this pick. Maybe I wasn't completely sober. I took Mario Manningham. Um, like last 2 years, Eli Manning's thrown for 8,000 yards, so there's lots of yards to go around. So I'm hoping Nicks and Manningham will be able to share the load, and Manningham will kind of be a good third receiver. I'm not planning to play him every single week, but maybe on some weak matchups where Eli is really going to light up the air, I can have Eli, Nicks, and Manningham just go off for me. I ended up picking Ryan Train after that with the 95th overall pick. I had most positions covered that I really wanted, so I figured I gotta start grabbing some backups. So I got Ryan Terrain as a backup running back. Hopefully he stays healthy, because when he's healthy, he seems to put up 100 yards. He's in the Washington offense who loves to run and seems to know how to get guys yards no matter who they are. So hopefully Ryan Terrain doesn't really get usurped by Roy Halou too quickly, and I can plug him in for a few weeks maybe if Daniel Thomas isn't doesn't pan out as well as I hoped. For a wide receiver, I went and grabbed Jordy Nelson. He was still available. I figure with Donald Driver just getting older, with less of a impact in that offense, James Jones is looking like he's not going to get re-signed. So I grabbed the young Jordy Nelson. The guy had a great end of last season. He had 100 yards and a TD in the Super Bowl. So hopefully they realize what this kid can do and they use him again this year. I'll probably get some flack for this. It was a little early, I know, but I figured might as well get some half decent ones before I end up just getting scrubs. I went with the kicker, Janikowski. He kicks like 60 yarders. He's one of the few guys who can. Oakland loves using him when they, even on deep attempts, so other teams will not attempt. So I figured grabbing him won't be too bad. Then I grabbed New England's defense. Um, every top defense was gone. It was down to these guys and the Raiders. New England was surprisingly good last year. They're so well coached. They're so young. I could see them being another high interception ratio, a few more forced fumbles even than last year with Gerard Mayo out there. And I figure it's a good defense to have. I'm probably gonna chirp this. People think you should just stock up maybe on my bench before I grab those guys because you can just play matchups weekly, which I do agree with, but it's up for debate. So my last four picks of the draft, I continue to stock up on bench players. I got a backup quarterback in Ryan Fitzpatrick. I figured just in case Eli goes down or doesn't have the season I expect him to have. Ryan Fitzpatrick looked pretty good last year, and hopefully he just continues to learn from that. He looks like he's willing to take risks, as I've mentioned in previous posts where I've mentioned his name. Pick 146 is my boy Devon Bass. I love the guy. This isn't his jersey. This is actually Brandon Marshall. Devon Bass, I love the guy though. He's got so much concentration, so much skill on those third downs, on those hard, tough catches. He's like a Wes Welker. Um, if Chad Henne continues to grow this season, oh, I don't know if I want to say continue. If he grows this season in general, and the team's offense does, and they can stay on the field more often, I could see him getting like 10 TDs or something like that. His yardage might not see a huge increase, but his TD total could because he can make some tough catches. Um, and then I went to St. Louis's wide receiver Danny Amendola. I don't know if you guys realize this, but Sam Bradford targeted him 122 times last season. If he even comes close to that, then I'll be happy having this kid on my bench and plugging him in on weeks where it's bye or whatnot. Maybe someone gets hurt. Um, he doesn't have the greatest yards per catch. It's pretty. I think it's under 10. But if he's getting targeted 10 times a game, I'm happy. And then lastly, I took Seattle's wide receiver Mike Williams. The guy, like I said, I like to be deep, so I just kind of stocked up wide receivers here. He returned in 2010 from 2 year hiatus. He looked good physically. He looked good in games. He's being coached by Steve Carroll, who he has a good history with. So yeah, comebacks were a big thing last year. Him and Vic proved it. He had 65 catches, 750 yards, only two TDs, which is kind of the main thing. But if he can get in the red zone more often and keep his catch total somewhere around 65, 70, even a bit higher, I'll be happy having this guy on my bench as well. I'm plugging him in weeks where I need it. And that is the 15 players on my team. Let's do a quick recap here. Second overall pick, Jamal Charles. 23rd overall pick, Akeem Nicks. 26th overall pick, Reggie Wayne. 47th overall, Dallas Clark. 50th overall, Daniel Thomas. 71st overall, Eli Manning. 74th overall, Mario Manningham. 95th overall, Ryan Terrain. 98th overall, Jordy Nelson. 119 overall, Janikowski. 122, New England defense. 143, Ryan Fitzpatrick. 146, Devon Bass. 167, Danny Amendola. And finally, at 170, I selected Mike Williams from Seattle. Mike Williams, Tampa Bay. That would have been quite the steal. So there it is, guys. My first fantasy football team of the season. Let me know if you think they're garbage. Well, maybe they could be amazing. If you think they're just going to be mediocre, I need to make some moves. Let me know what you think. I appreciate anything. Rate it. Rate the team. Rate the article. I don't really care. My guess is that based upon the league that I joined, like I just kind of joined it last minute just so I could join in the draft. I don't really know how high quality the players are. But I looked at the teams real quickly. I believe I'm not the best team in the league, but I'm definitely playoff material. And with some luck and some waiver wire activity, I could, who knows, maybe even take it home. So thanks for watching my long ass video, and hope you got all the way through it. And let me know what you guys think. This is Koopa Fantasy. Talk to you later.